The AFL ladder is currently a work of fiction. Give me 4 minutes and a spreadsheet and I'll show you why. This is SPEWIN. Round 20 is done, all 9 games, and this is the hangover. Coming up, the ladder is telling lies in 2 directions at once. Fremantle quietly being the best team in the competition, a spray pointed squarely at Adelaide Oval, and Port Adelaide fans in who's SPEWIN, where they have earned their spot the hard way. Round 9, Adelaide Oval. Port Adelaide 10 goals 12, 72. The Western Bulldogs 10 goals 14, 74. Same number of goals, the Dogs won by 2 behinds. Hold on to that, because it's the whole season in one scoreline. The Bulldogs are 7th on 12 wins at 96.8%. The only side in the 10 that the competition has actually outscored. 438 scoring shots for, 480 against. That's minus 42. Now rank all 18 clubs by chances created minus chances conceded and compare that to where they actually sit. Port are 9th on chances and 15th on the ladder. Biggest gap in the competition. The Bulldogs are 14th on chances and 7th on the ladder. Biggest gap in the competition, but the other way. The 2 most misplaced teams in the AFL are these 2, and it's in opposite directions. Their percentages are 1.2 apart. The expected win sum has them 0.2 apart. Yet they're 24 premiership points apart. Same standard of football on almost every measure we've got, 8 places between them. So what is the difference? It's games decided by 2 goals or less. The Bulldogs have won 7 and lost 2. Port have won 1 and lost 5. The most close losses of any club in the competition. Against the 10 this year, the Bulldogs are 6 and 6. 5 of those 6 wins came by 6 points or less. The 6 losses came by an average of 47.5. They beat Hawthorn by 6 and they've lost to Hawthorn by 40 in the same season. So they either scrape home by a kick or they get belted. There's really nothing in between. Either that's a side that's worked out how to win tight games, which is handy in September, or it's one that's been getting away with it since March. Honestly, it's a bit of both. No one can tell you which yet, including the people who actually coach the team. Now back to Port, and the one number that does mean something. Port kick 47.1% a goal. Worst in the competition. Hand them the league average kicking across all 19 games and they win 1 more match. 1. So the kicking is real and it isn't what's costing them. 5 losses by under 2 goals is. Which means the case for Port isn't they'd be fine if they could kick straight. It's they'd be playing finals if a few 1-kick games had gone the other way. That's much harder to laugh at and I'm not going to. So how much is a ladder position actually worth? I went and counted every single one of them. Since the final 8 started in 1994, 32 premierships. 11 came from first, 20 came from second, third, fourth or fifth. From 6th down in 32 years, there has been exactly 1. It was the 2016 Western Bulldogs from 7th. So the ladder is a work of fiction about how good a side is, and a documentary about what happens to the next. Those are 2 different things, and the whole episode lives in the gap between them. And it isn't just these 2. Adelaide are 5th with 4 sides below them creating more chances. Geelong are 9th ahead of everyone from 5th to 8th. Between 2nd and 10th, the order is close to noise, which is either the best news the Bulldogs have heard all year or the cruelest coincidence in football, because the only side that has ever done it from down there is them. Collingwood won by 34 at Adelaide Oval after being 12 down at the half. More on that later, and yes, you know why. Geelong beat Melbourne by 20. Fremantle put 70 on West Coast, and we'll come back to that. Carlton got home over Gold Coast by 13 after trailing. Josh Fraser is 8-2 as interim coach, which is a sentence somebody at Carlton is going to have to do something about. Hawthorn 19-18. Essendon 5-9, 93 points. Jack Gunston kicked 7 of them and his 600th career goal. 37th player in history in his 18th season, the week he's re-signed for a 19th. Essendon conceded 139 uncontested marks. Now that number didn't come from me. Their own caretaker coach volunteered it to the media, unprompted, which really tells you what the room was saying. Sydney did the Giants by 51, Brisbane beat Port by 59 at the Gabba, and Taylor Walker kicked his 700th. St Kilda beat North by 31, and Max King played his first game in 757 days and was out of it by three-quarter time with a tight hamstring. No joke there. 2 years is a long wait for three-quarters of football. And the Dogs did Richmond by 57. Luke Beveridge afterwards. That's the first time we got to 100 in over a month, I think. Translation. He knows. And the 10, because it's 10 now. Fremantle, Sydney, Hawthorn, Brisbane, Adelaide, Melbourne. The Bulldogs on the percentage we've just spent 5 minutes on. Collingwood 8th, then Geelong and St Kilda in the wildcard spots. Quick one on the side, nobody's mentioned all year. Fremantle are 17-2. And the lazy line about a record like that is always, yeah, but who have they beaten? Everyone. 9 wins and 1 loss against the 10 by an average of 17.5 points. Melbourne, Adelaide, Collingwood, the Dogs, Hawthorn, Brisbane, Sydney, St Kilda, Geelong, all of them. The one loss is Geelong by 10, and they beat Geelong by 9 the other time. Their only other defeat all year is GWS, who are 12th and not going to be playing finals. So 1 loss all season to a side that's still playing in September by under 2 goals to a team they also beat. Either the most reassuring record in the competition or the most ominous, depending on how superstitious you are. Thursday night, Adelaide Oval. A section of the crowd booed Isaac Quaynor every single time he went near it. Quaynor is the bloke who last year had a homophobic slur directed at him by an Adelaide player. So the victim got booed at the ground where it happened by some of the people who were there when it happened. I'm not going to pretend there's another side to this, because Adelaide haven't pretended either. Their chief exec, Tim Silvers, the next day, and I'm quoting, "The behaviour of some crossed the line last night. Put simply, it was inappropriate and not good enough." When your own chief exec gets out in front of it inside 24 hours, you're not a passionate supporter having a go at an opponent. You are the thing your club has had to apologise for. And it isn't just the suits. Rory Sloane captained that football club for 4 seasons and won their best and fairest twice. On the Sunday Footy Show, and I'm quoting again, "I was embarrassed as an Adelaide Crows fan, and I had mates at the game who felt the same way. I thought we'd moved on from this." A club champion embarrassed to barrack for his own crowd. If you're waiting for somebody to tell you it was fine, it's not going to be him. And here's the part that isn't the crowd's fault. The day before the game, on 5AA, Rowie from Rowie and Timmy G called Quaynor a Suki Lala. Said that's why he was going to get booed. This is before anyone had booed anything. That's not predicting the booing. That's handing a whole city a reason for it at drive time 24 hours early. A grown adult with a microphone telling South Australia that the bloke who didn't even report but was the victim of a homophobic slur is a sook. The crowd cops it, the club apologises, the bloke who wrote them the script does his shift on Monday like nothing happened. That's the bit that I can't get past. And note what Silvers said, the behaviour of some. Most of the ground didn't do it, and plenty of them were embarrassed by the ones who did. And one of them played 250 games for you. So this is aimed at the ones who did, and nobody else. Boo Collingwood, boo me, boo the umpires, the fixture, the price of a pie or a beer. Booing the bloke who cops the slur isn't tribalism and it isn't banter. There is no version of it that makes any sense. Right, back to footy. Full disclosure, as always, I barrack for Collingwood, so here's the bit where you get to discount basically everything I say. They beat Adelaide by 34 on Thursday, 12 down at half time, and Nick Dacos had 39 touches and 10 score involvements. And they're 8th. And 8th is exactly where we belong. Plus 21 scoring shots for the season, percentage of 107. The expected wins sum that I ran earlier has them at plus 0.7, which is statistics' way of saying there's nothing to see here. 4 wins, 4 losses and a draw in the close ones. There's no story here. They're a dead average football side, having a dead average season, and I'll be watching every second of it. Gold Coast fans should be featuring in SPEWIN this week. It's their 9th loss in a row. They led Carlton, then they lost to Carlton. But given there's only about 10 of them, we'll talk about Port Adelaide instead. Port supporters, this one is yours, and you didn't need me to tell you. You've watched 5 games this season get decided by under 2 goals, and you've lost all but one of them. Nobody in the competition has lost more that way. That's not a slump, that's a season of Sunday nights. And you've done all of that without your captain, Connor Rozee. He's played 2 games this season. 2 out of 19. A year ago, he was averaging 27.5 touches, and nobody in the competition has lost a player doing that much for that long. I'm not handing you the injury excuse though, because your own list won't back it up. Porter 11th of 18 for senior games missed. Middle of the road. You haven't been wiped out. You lost one bloke that you can't replace, and then you lost 5 games by under 2 goals. Verdict. Fair enough. I came into this ready to tell you that your side can't kick, and that the numbers wouldn't let me. You're 9th in the competition at creating and stopping chances. You're 15th. There's no lesson in that, and no fixing it. It's just rotten. And anyone telling you it's character is selling you something. Now the Gong. Nazaya Wanganeen Malira. As much as I want to give this to Nick Dacos, I can't. 46 disposals, 4 goals, over 1 kilometre of metres gained. Alistair Clarkson afterwards said North's whole game plan was nearly set up around stopping him, and he got 46 in kick 4. The Dingo. Carlton's goal kicking. 48.6% for the season. Second worst in the comp. They're 9 and 10. They are 1 straight kick away from actually being in the conversation properly, and they have been all year. Every number in this is in the pinned comment with a link. Go and check me. I'd rather be corrected than be wrong. Next one's on the way, and Fremantle are going to need their own episode before this whole thing's over. That's the lot. Get around your club, get around the game, and if you're spewing, you're not alone. Thanks, guys.